No.
Yeah.
Just you didn't even push record last time.
I was doing the thing, and you were up with, but it wasn't out.
No.
You were the one guy.
I told you shouldn't.
I wasn't the one in charge because this isn't.
You don't even know what an application is.
Because I don't think
That's an app.
relevant.
It's an
That's
app.
not
Just-
the thing.
just
But wait,
put it
no,
in-
but
no,
listen. Listen.
No.
You listen.
Hey,
no, wait.
What? Just
Come
okay,
on.
all
Now.
right.
Okay.
Okay,
listen.
Highlander.
No,
Mister.
No.
Crocodile. No.
Crocodile.
That's
was
you
a
know
different-
what?
that's
No.
a whole different
Don't even
thing.
start with me on
It's a
Waterworld.
whole different thing.
Don't even start with me on Waterworld
Kevin
again.
Costner. Why?
The best actor.
Don't, no, he doesn't even.
Okay, let me
he
just
does-
ask you
what's
this.
the thing with the
What? No, right.
Field of Dreams is all right.
Okay, hold on. Yeah,
Wait.
but Frodo and
That's the whole trip and the the Eagles take the thing anyway, and
yeah, I
it's
don't
all
know.
dumb. It's not really the point, but see,
But-
the thing is that it's more like
no. But
Yeah,
just
oh,
listen.
all right.
Just listen.
Well,
just listen.
all right, listen.
Okay, no.
All right,
All right.
all
Okay,
right,
fine.
All right, fine. That's fine. All right,
All right. 14.
14. Clash of Clans episode 14. Now, this is the second parter for all you listeners out there in Radio Land. If you're just coming in right now, go back and listen to episode 13.
Yeah, and if you don't, you're missing something.
You're missing something. You're missing out. Go listen to episode 13. Make sure you do that before you listen to this. Let's get back to our episode with Boots Electric, myself, Boneyard, and my friend Scotty.
Talking about all things Clash of Clans.
Let's get right back to it.
Yeah.
All right, Boots, let me ask you this. What we've been sitting here, you've been attacking. You've went past countless villages, I'm sure. What's deterred you from attacking certain villages, and what has made you want to attack certain villages? What are you looking for, and what would you just stay away from?
Well, the number one thing that deters me from attacking somebody is when they don't have any loot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you look for in terms of loot? I mean, like, what's your limit?
It depends. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on one, where the loot is. If I think it's in the mines and pumps, and that's it, and I think it's obvious that that's what it is, I'll maybe just send in some troops and go take that stuff out. And if it's only 90,000, but I can get it with 15 troops, then I'll go for it no matter what.
So do you stop every time that you're looking at a camp before you attack? Do you look at it and you go, okay, I'm going to raid this one? Or, like, what's the number that, like, because you know how it is. When you're, flipping through, you're going to, is it 90,000? Is it 100,000?
About 90,000 of each is where I'll look, and I'll usually determine within a couple seconds whether or not I think it's if it's just in the mines and pumps, if it's in the storages. And that's kind of where I'll decide if I want to go. And if it's in the pumps and mines, then I'll kind of go for it more if there's less. But if it's all in the storages, they need to be full. I need to go for 200K of each if it's just in the storages.
Okay.
Yeah. Full army, you're going to run a full army out. You want to go.
So how much does your
haul.
army cost you?
I honestly have no idea. I could give a quick estimate what the level 5 bombers are.
I think it's
Well, 18,000 for the
18,000 of those guys, and then it would be about 10,000, 12,000 for my barbs, and about 6,000 for my archers. So it's what, 30,000?
Okay,
yeah,
that's not
about,
bad at all.
That's about what I'm running for just barbs and archers is about 30,000, and then minions is a bunch.
Because I'm running it out at 65,000.
That's rough, man. See, how can you when you're going for elixir with that? You really got to
I
find
don't
some
stop.
scores.
I don't usually stop unless it's at least 150,
Yeah.
and then I'll go in for it.
Yeah. And it depends. Like, it'll depend on what the setup looks like. If I see something that looks stupid, then I'll usually stop and be like, is it worth it? If it's only 100,000, if they've got a really shitty setup, or if they've got it in the corner and they think the woods are some sort of a unpenetratable wall, you know what I mean? Well, where they have them in the corners and they're like, oh, they can't come in through the woods. And then you just drop your whole army behind the woods. And
I love that shit. It doesn't happen that much anymore now that I'm higher up, but yeah, I love doing that shit. Back when I would drop trophies and I'd go all the way down to 500, and I'd actually would lose elixir and money by getting back up, but I wouldn't get attacked on there. That's how I kept my shield until I realized I just put till the league system happened. But you come back up and you're fighting guys that have been playing for a couple of weeks, You know, they have no idea what's going on. And yeah, you see him in the corner and you just, in the trees, I'm just going to drop 3 guys and take out all of his shit.
So what are you sitting at for trophies?
Me, 1356 right now.
How about you, Boneyard?
1441.
I meant like 1750.
And honestly, I probably got like 60 of these sitting here.
So are you winning? Are you trying to win?
No, I think right before that, right around when the last upgrade happened, they started the league system. I was up close to 1900 in that neighborhood.
Whoa!
And
you were way up there.
Yeah, and I mean it's doable, but to save money and do all that kind of stuff up there, I mean you're getting slapped around by people. They're hitting you hard when you're up that high. If you've got 200K to take, you've got a lot of nerds that are really trying to bash your skull in when you're up that high.
I did take the first major hit today that I've taken in a long time. Because usually they come in for 1,000, and I could look at, and it's reloading right now, but I can tell you, probably the last 15 have been, I lost 195, 151, and 1,000 on Dark Elixir. But the last ones have been minuscule for days and days and days and days.
Yeah.
Because of the league system, which I think works in some ways
For what you
to
want.
benefit.
Yeah, if that's what you want to play, then go for it.
Because because that is nice little bonus. But, I haven't really been taking much. So
I'd like to see a defense bonus or some sort of a reason for me to want to have a good defense. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Besides just protecting your own stuff, I don't know if you would have to like gamble something towards it as the attacker.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think you should be able. It would be cool if you got something for actually defending and having a good enough village to keep people from being able to take from you. That would encourage, I think, people from putting their town halls outside, like most of us do in our clan.
Yeah. Shield initiator. Inducer.
Yeah, shield inducer. It works.
Yeah.
It works like a charm.
So let's say a year from now, right? What would keep you playing for that long? It's a tough question, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it's got a pretty easy answer. It's the same thing that's kept me playing for 6 weeks at a time so far. Updates and new things happening. I mean, I'm waiting to get to level 9, and once I do, what's to go there? I get everything maxed out, and then I'm gonna just grind out black walls.
Yeah, and
at the end, like, what's that? Well, that's not fun.
Yeah, having an active plan, it will be a major part in that too. Like, I don't know how much you guys got into iOS-based games prior to this. I didn't play a whole lot. There was another one kind of like this that I played that was called Land Grabbers, but it wasn't online based. Like, you didn't interact with anybody, so it was kind of think of how these raids go a little bit.
Yeah.
Except you're just one player, and that's all you ever do. So it gets really boring.
It's like it's like this game, but it's just the goblins, the one player, the single player version. Yeah.
I do think it would be kind of cool to have like an avatar, right? Mm-hmm. Or I think about like if a year from now, wouldn't it be cool to have like an entire map, right, where your clan was in a region and you could, I think. Because here's a lot of the feedback and a lot of the.
You can zoom out of your camp and you go to your island where everybody on the island is in your clan and they all have their own camps and you can click on them.
Yeah.
Visit other clans once you figure out where they are.
So a lot of the feedback and a lot of the questions we got for Supercell were all about clan on clan battling, person on person battling, those type of things.
Yeah, I even have a shout out from Eric here. Highly disappointed. This is now the 3rd episode that should have been the Supercell interview that got postponed, in quotes. Get it done. Listen here, Eric. I'm going to have to bash your head, nerd. It was my fault that I couldn't get here in the snow.
So, what I would like to see in a year from now would be kind of cool, I think, to see like clan on clan battling, territory battling. I think you're going to have to expand it because look at the map, right? Look at your camp. At a level 9 or level 8, it's getting smaller. Mm-hmm. Where the hell is the water things? Because there's obviously water. But I think you're gonna have to. I think you're gonna have to like expand it and change it a little bit to where people can geographically kind of place themselves in this world.
Well,
That's
yeah.
what I'm thinking.
That seems
A
like
year
lot.
from now, because they've only been out. Supercell has only had this game out since June, right? And it hasn't been a full year. But the creator of the game talked about in his interviews a 10-year game. He wants people that are going to be playing 10 years from now. So when I think about it, I think about what's going to keep me playing
For 10 years, Jesus Christ!
I didn't think I'd play for like 2 months.
Yeah, I was having fun, and then I got to the point where like this is going to take forever, and then I'm still doing it.
Yeah, and we're still going. So, what do you imagine? What would you like to see? What would you imagine in the next update? What would you like to see?
Well, in the next update, what would I like to see? I'd like to see some different Dark Elixir troops, some that don't take so damn long to make. Maybe dial down the time on making the golem, and the price on it I think is a little ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool to see. We talked about this a little bit. Some other traps and stuff like that. It would be kind of cool to get smaller stuff like that. One we talked about for all of us that have the Dark Elixir store and get zapped by nerds.
Yeah.
Cool for them to get like a one-use trap for that, where it's like a lightning rod or whatever. It just
That would be cool.
thwarts off some nerd's lightning spell or whatever, and it goes away after it gets used or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Could you imagine like a king trap or a queen trap outside that, like,
Something
sitting
comes out of
outside
the
the
ground.
walls, and all of a sudden,
Yeah. Oh, I'd like to see some
a binding spell or something like that.
tiger traps.
defense spell, that would be cool. Where
Yeah.
you could like brew it or whatever, and then once you're done for the night, be like you cast a spell or whatever.
You
on-
cast your binding spell for the next out, and if you know the biggest troop or like the most hardiest troop comes in, gets bound for however long.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be kind of cool.
I want to see tiger traps.
Well, that would be a spell.
a
I mean,
pit?
isn't that a witch's spell is binding? I mean, isn't that one of the fundamental witch's spells is a binding
I
spell?
don't know I'm not up on my Wicca history.
Well,
I'm not into witchcraft. I don't know.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Weirdo. Anyway,
Guess who's getting the pins tonight?
Maybe some gypsy tears.
Yeah, yeah.
dragon's breath.
Yeah.
Put that in there.
And I would like
I
to
am
see
mute.
what would you like to see in the Dark Elixir troops? So we've got a bunch of Dark Elixir troops coming up.
That bulldog that hangs out with Mr. T, I want to see him.
Oh yeah, with the mohawk, right? And the little white kid could ride him, and then there'd be the double. Yeah, the little white kid with the mohawk, dressed like Mr. T.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And the Mr. T
Oh yeah,
cartoon
okay.
where they was hanging out with gymnasts, and then this little white kid with a mohawk, and then a
I
dog
just
with
keep
a
thinking
mohawk.
when you say the white and then Mr. T and I don't know. I just go back to shitting your pants and who's changing him and all that kind of stuff. Who's cleaning him up?
I pity the fool who's got to ride this mule.
Yeah. Go back to the fan in the stand.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would like to see.
So where do you go
I don't
after the
know.
golem? Where do you go after the golem?
I would guess that that's the top end. Maybe they'll have like just like with the regular troops, they'll have a high end dark troop that's a flying unit, which I don't know what that would be. I don't know, like some.
Yeah, because the cost, right?
Yes.
You can't
spaceship.
go over 300.
Yeah, I would guess they're going to go down. It would be nice if they had a couple 1 and 2 minute troops, stuff like that, where they're just different attack styles. I mean, more something along the lines of the Archer or Barb, where it's just like a ground unit that's cheaper and quicker. That would be nice. I mean, it would speed up attacks, and I don't know. I think their purpose with this game is to get people to play more, and if you can get a quicker army.
Let me ask you this: when you first started, right? You know, and you looked at the top level players, what level were they at?
I want to say 90s. You didn't.
Yeah.
When I first started, you didn't see the very highest end players weren't very much above 100, which is pretty crazy that I'm a level 89 now. And I guess,
know that's what I think about because I think when I first started, like level 80 was the highest, right?
Yeah.
And when I first started,
where I'm at
level
right now.
8 town hall was the highest,
Yeah.
and now it's 9. So I think it's going to go to 10,
Sure.
and then
It'll
I
have
think
to.
at level 10 town hall, you're going to have to do another research facility.
Yeah.
I
What
mean,
if-
that's what I would really
Yeah.
like to see.
Yeah, right.
Because
they could get a new defense in too. There's been a new defensive unit since the October upgrade, right when they got the Expo.
Tiger
Yeah.
Trap. Tiger Trap is a pit. It opens up, falls down on spikes. It'll look awesome. It'll be a really cool little thing. A pit you can put in, yeah.
That
And
would actually
you
be
can
a
drop
cool
guys
idea.
on it. You know, it doesn't count as a square blocker.
A
You can
tiger pit.
Yeah,
That's something that would like
yeah.
change the game a little bit.
Because you'd have that open square where you can drop a guy. And, you know, right now, if you do that, a Tesla tower pops up. Well, you can drop a bunch of guys.
And then you can
take
put
that-
the tiger
and
pit
then-
instead of the spring.
Yeah, you put the tiger pit there so that it negates that as a place where you can drop guys. from
I
then
would
on.
like to see a troop
Tiger
that goes.
Punji sticks in there.
I would like to see a troop or something that can combat an expo, and that would, because I guess the golem
like
does,
defense,
right?
defense
Because
specific.
I guess I would throw in a golem if I was going to go for
Yeah,
whatever.
And then it splits up into two
Yeah.
and takes
Yeah.
them both out.
But I would like to see something that counteracts the expo. And I'd like to see something, because I think the Dark Troops are doing this, and I think
if you look at it
I think
based
what
on-
they're doing is like going over the walls. It's not so much about the walls; it's about your defenses. You know, kind of correcting the wrongs in some ways, like, you know, for the higher level player, like,
Sure.
because you can't like go against, you know, something that could go against like
top-
super high
The top end
wizards.
guys. Yeah.
You know, something that evens a playing field in terms of strategy. That's what I'd like to see. Is like where you're at. It's about what you've leveled up, but also about the strategy you employ about going in. Not necessarily about, you know, the walls or where you get stuck or
I
whatever.
don't know. I think that's all part of it.
Well, it is, but
If you go by how the regular barracks look, the next thing in the dark barracks is probably going to be something like a goblin.
that would make sense.
You know, he goes right for the storage container guy, and he jumps walls or something, but he's really expensive.
Yeah, but I mean, I would temper, because like the dragons, right? The dragons to me aren't even that. It's great when people donate them, and I think most of the time people just donate them when they aren't doing their,
Yeah, I don't use
you
them.
know, when they're not training them for their own army. But
Right.
I'm not going to do a 30-minute like army. It's like either I would like to see time buy downs. That would be great.
Yeah.
You know, where you could do credits
you
for.
could research your guy so
You
that
could
he's,
research your guy so it gets less time
Yeah, right.
to train him.
Yeah, right. But see, that's how they're doing it in with the gems, because you can boost your production rate if you buy gems, or you can finish off guys for cheap, and that's how they're making money. And so they can't make everything too easy for us.
Yeah. I suppose you've got to balance it between making money and
Playing the
letting
game.
a lot of people play, right? Because George Yao or Jorge Yao or whatever his name is. What did you call him?
Gorge?
Jorge Yao. You know, you've got to let him spend the money, but also at the same time, like,
Well, you got his money.
I think the time buy down would be a perfect thing.
Yeah.
Because then he could make more in terms of how many,
Who knows what his strategy is? I
you know,
mean, really.
because I had listened to part of his interview, right? So
Yeah.
most of his hour, because Flammy was talking to him and he is interviewing him and asking him, so what does your day look like, or when you're attacking? He goes, most of my day is watching that little magnifying glass go right across, looking for somebody to match him.
because he's at the top level.
He's at the top level. So his goal is making the 51%,
Huh.
you know, because he's not going to get many trophies in that.
I guess.
So if you could buy down the time,
Yeah. I think he should go on a severe trophy drop and just go fight nerds with level 3 dragons. That's always fun.
yeah, but you don't get anything from it.
Well, that's fun though.
You get entertainment.
Yeah, bash a nerd up. That's why I wish there was mail to mail so I could send him
See,
the mail.
I don't take enjoyment from just, I mean, I want to go in there and make something.
That's probably why he does that. He's been a big nerd his whole life, and he's finally gets to be number one at something.
By spending $2,500 in a week.
Yeah, yes, I'm a nerd. I'm gonna buy my way to
Well,
number
he's not
one
even,
status.
you know what? He's not even a nerd.
I'm a king of the nerds.
He's a buy-in nerd.
Yeah.
He's a poser nerd.
Yeah, he's a poser nerd.
Yeah, he's a geek.
All of us are sitting here grinding away, working at being nerds, being the nerds that are playing. And instead of just like, you know what, throwing the money at it to be number one.
Yeah.
And there's no way we're ever going to be number one. Right?
What are you, crazy? Yeah, no.
No. And so we accept that.
Maybe some lottery money.
No,
Yeah.
even with that, I wouldn't do it.
I would love-
Even if I had $1 million, I would not throw all my money into that. Because you know why?
What about like $100 million?
No, I wouldn't.
You spend 10 grand and beef your, like, I have 1,400 trophies and suddenly I was everything was maxed out, king,
I
queen,
wouldn't do it.
everything. And then you go start running up on trophies and go.
No, even if I made $100 million, I'd probably throw in I'd be like, fuck, I'll throw in 15, like a 20 this weekend or something like that.
Oh, I don't
Because
know.
I could do this. But you know what I mean? It would lose the fun, I think. It would lose the fun. Like, okay, here comes the next update. You better save up.
Yeah.
Boots
Yeah,
are.
what's the point in playing if they're like, that's the thing, like that's the fun, and it's like, I got to try to do this and get here. It's like,
Yeah.
then on that end of it, all you're doing is like, when is the next upgrade so I can buy some more gems?
Yeah. And then,
All right, not even playing.
yeah, not even
Yeah.
playing, like no decisions. Just,
Yeah.
next upgrade, I got to be number one. And everything's maxed out. Then it's maybe strategy, right?
So Gorge Yao, if you're listening to this, give us a call on our at our voicemail 424-27-CLASH.
Yeah. 424. What's that?
424-27-CLASH. Give us a call and tell us what your business, because I think it stinks.
Yeah. Well, and I will say this, quite frankly. Yeah. Where are you making that money at?
Yeah, are you truly like a nerd? You got tech stock? That's a thing, right? Tech stock. You get paid, right? Silicon Valley. That's a computer thing, right?
No.
It used to be.
No.
Silicon Valley? No. Tech stocks? I don't know.
Silicon Valley.
That's what I said.
No, that's about boobs.
No.
Just kidding.
That's a whole different thing.
No, actually, BD did say to me, he goes, would you want to interview Jorge Yao? Or George Yao, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I don't.
And I said, no, there's absolutely no way I'd want to interview him.
We make fun of them.
Yeah, I'd
get him
make
on
fun
here
of
and ride them.
But
Just do an ambush interview.
Yeah,
Get 'em
right.
out, start making fun of them until
Edit in fart
Well,
noises and stuff.
And Flammy interviewed him, and he goes, why wouldn't you want him to be on there? I go, because that's not who listens to this podcast. People that listen to this podcast are people like us that play. And, who throw in a little bit of money, maybe here and there.
You never know,
maybe
maybe
go
it's-
to their next thing. But that's what I was saying earlier. It's all about making decisions. So if we're going to throw in $20, it's going to be about throwing in $20 to make a decision instead of just going, fuck it. We want to get to the top. You'll never see me on the top.
No.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
You beat me to it there, buddy.
I'm just gonna lay there.
so you were talking.
Sorry. All right, go for it. I won't even look at you.
So you were talking the other day about, before you became clan leader, about doing a trophy push because we made it into the 2K, I think it was, you said?
I don't know. It's confusing because after the last upgrade or update or whatever, sometimes you don't get the fourth digit. But I think we were in the top two. We were, I want to say 2,000 to 4,000 for a while, I think.
Okay. And you said if we all,
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought we could get into the top 2,000 if we did a trophy push.
and so what would that be like? So like everybody on one weekend just said, we are going balls to the wall.
It would have to be the last weekend, like the last weekend of the 2-week system, like the last
like
couple
this
of,
weekend.
like the last couple of days, and then you would bring your town hall inside and you would just push for trophies and not necessarily gold and stuff. And if you just did that for a weekend, it'd change up the game and you'd have a little fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I could probably get up to the next gold 2 if I pushed it. I'm close
You
enough.
could get it past gold 2. You could
Yeah,
be
when I
gold
did-
3 easy.
When I did that push before the last update, before they started the league system, I think I did 400 trophies in just a couple of days.
Well, and that's why when
300 in one evening where I was just sitting there, and if you just poke through and look for people like ours, so they got their town hall outside. I mean, it's slow to go that way, but you can get through it that way. And if you find somewhere, it's like, it's weird how they'll have the trophies set up, but sometimes you'll run into a level 7 town hall that just has a puny setup, but you can get 40 trophies off them.
Sure.
Just go in there and smash his shit up, and
if you find a guy like, a town hall like mine where it's outside, you can only when you get back you'll have a full army because you're only dropping 10 guys.
But don't you think, because you did that, trophy push, right? And I remember talking about this on one of the earlier podcasts that, whoa, that was really smart of you, because then you got into that higher league, right? Right before the, and then figuring out the drop down in the league stuff. But don't you think that there's a certain limit you can hit with what you have in some ways? And I think this changed since the league system came, because at 1750, and I'm trying to drop, because I'm going, I don't want to be this high because I keep running into the, the bad like mix up. Yeah. But don't you think you kind of max out at a certain trophy limit, or do you?
That's kind of how I thought. I mean, before I did this push that time, when I got up to like 14 or 1500 is kind of when I was hitting the wall and trying to make money and getting anything accomplished. And this time it was right around there, between 18 to 1900 is where I was starting to hit the wall, where it was starting to get tough to gain trophies.
And what were you running into at that point?
Just hardcore shit. I mean, level 7 mortars, level 3 expos, and it's just makes it really tough to raid and try to get anything out of it, where they're just set up really nice.
And so right now you dropped a bunch, and I think, and this is where I think the league system is a really good thing in some ways, because I think people that were around before, and I think people that are around now and that are starting, like I remember there's people that I know that said, even Boneyard, and I'll say
what are you talking about? You got
no. This
Wrap
is all in the same thing.
Vein,
Boneyard's down on level 1, and he's the last person in the clan sitting around like 300 trophies, right? But as soon as that league system hit, Boneyard's like, oh, fuck you guys, I'm going up to, silver
14.
3.
I'm not bothering to actually drop trophies anymore. I don't care about it.
Yeah, and I
lose
think
enough.
That's where the league system...
I probably lose more on attacks that I make than I do on the guy taking my town hall. I just lose some because, 50%, or not even 50%, it's just a town hall.
And I think it made people want to climb.
And
which makes it, when you are like higher up, easier to attack instead of dropping trophies. I think that was probably the best thing they ever did in terms of farming, because you can't go back to, people want to hold on to what they have.
Yeah, well, the good place to go, I think and I've been finding lots of money between 12 and 1300, and I think that's for people that are trying to get that trophy achievement.
Okay.
It's a lot of active people and a lot of people that are raiding, so they've got a lot of resources.
Sure.
And then it's a good spot to hit those, and then a lot of those people that are pushing for that, to get that third builder or whatever they're using those gems for, it's a good way to be able to they're not very high level people.
And I would say this too, though. You're at a town hall level 8. So town hall level 7 would benefit more down there. A town hall level 9 would not.
Yeah.
You'd have to be
you're making 75% of what you should in every raid, because you're down there fighting those little guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of the better things they did in this last update, was to make it so that there was a benefit to having a 1 level town hall difference. Or before, it was a 9 could attack a 7 with nothing, right?
It was 1 above or 1 below.
That's what it was.
Okay.
So 6 and a 7, or 7 and an 8, or 8 and 9, or 8 and 7.
Right. But yeah, making it so that a 1 level town hall difference makes a difference in what you get now. I think that will slow people down, and kind of jumping up.
I wish I would have stayed at 7 until I had everything leveled up there. I mean, would have had a lot less walls. That's what I did it for, was I wanted the walls, and I wanted the extra 2 defenses, and because I had this set up in my mind. And then, of course, right after I did it, we got 25 free walls. Just everybody. Yeah.
Well, and I think I would have changed my upgrade strategy had I known that it would have been a difference between 8 and 9. But for me, it was all about the pumps
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I'm hell bent on the
Getting
dark
those-
elixir economy.
Getting those drills set up and getting
Yeah.
going.
And Boots was instrumental in that. You know,
I'm just the puppet master.
yes.
And Scotty's the
I think you've grown a 5 o'clock shadow in the time we've recorded this.
I think that might be true. My Scandinavian beard is really running thick tonight.
Let me ask you this, Boots. What advice would you give to people that are just starting? If you're listening to this and you're level 2, 3, 6, 7 town hall, what would you say?
I don't know. I got to get the mines and pumps maxed out. I think that's way more important than I thought it was, because that's 400,000 of each a day for free that you get. And I mean, that's the biggest thing. And just take your time. I don't know. It's people will rush through, I think, and they just try to get the cooler stuff. And I don't know. I wish I'd kind of slow it down now. It would make stuff easier. And I'm glad I stopped at level 8. I really wanted level 9 town hall.
Yeah.
But, it's like, but then they wanted, like, to get there, I had to upgrade all my gold storages and all this other stuff. And I was like, man, whatever. I'll just stop for a while and see what's going on at level 8 town hall.
Well, you know, and I have to say, when I started and it was like a month or 2 in, I'm going, I don't know if I'm going to be playing that long to upgrade those pumps and mines.
Yep.
Listen to Mikey. Listen to Mikey. Rush to Town Hall 9.
Mikey Crud, big shout out.
Big shout out.
Well, and the thing with that is,
That's
now,
$1. That's $1.
That's not $1, it's a
So
quarter.
you shouted it out. That's another $1.
We already made it a very deal. The deal was it's
Yeah.
a quarter. We already said this.
Yeah, but you referred
Yeah,
to it.
but nothing.
Now it's another 25 cents.
Oh, no, okay. Now you owe me $5. How about that?
You owe me $60 for one, like,
No, now you owe me $100 just because.
okay.
Anyway,
So,
but no, because the reason I would say that too now, it's those upgrade times are way lower than they used to be.
I heard that.
Like, I don't remember what was the level 11 one before. It was like 6 days or something, wasn't it?
I bet it was like 8 or 10.
Yeah.
no, I don't think so.
4 or 5 is the max days now, I think, for a pump in mine.
What?
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
oh well.
You know what? And I
had
feel
that
a
shit
little
done- I had that
cheated.
shit done a month
I
ago.
feel a little cheated about the minions because it was 10 days, 10 days, 10 days. And now, like, the level 4 minions was 7 days, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I spent 30 days researching my minions to get to level 4.
See, that's why from now on, I'm only going bottom troops because
Oh,
You don't like the top troops?
no, or I like the bottom troops.
Hello.
But if imagine if you went for a fucking level 2 Valkyrie when they first came out, that was like a 28-day upgrade.
What, really?
Yeah, remember when we were looking at that shit?
Oh, yeah.
It was like, there's no way we could upgrade minions, hog
would take-
riders, and
that's
past
right.
July.
It'd be months before you could get everything leveled up.
Yeah, past July.
And you were complaining
Yeah.
about they needed a second research
Yeah,
station.
complaining about the research station. Well, Boots, thank you so much for coming on and co-hosting, putting up with this guy here.
Yeah, Scotty. Too hotty.
Yeah, and
Potty mouth.
I really want to give a big shout out again to Mikey Crud.
Mikey Crud, yes. Thank you for sending it in. It cost me a quarter. I'm not happy about that, but I am happy
it's
about
going to cost you more than that.
I am happy about that song. That was fucking stellar, man.
Yeah,
So,
it's stuck in my head. It's
All
been
the
stuck
other-
in my head ever since I heard it.
all the fans out there, you know what to do. Send them in.
Don't be intimidated by that song. And I hope Mikey will send in a couple more because that is fan-fucking-tastic. And that's hyphenated.
Right.
Boots,
Yes.
you got a couple last words for the podcast?
No, it's fun. It was good to be here. Good to get online and actually see you guys in our webcast or whatever you want to call it that we're doing here. Webcams.
The Skyping.
Yeah, oh yeah, because
I learned about-
Boneyard has never seen a
I
webcam
learned
before.
about that today. I learned something new every day.
Yeah. Yeah, they do
Skype.
that on the internet
I
now.
thought it was Skype because it was a Y, but
No, we've done interviews on Skype before, but it's the first video interview.
Cool, totally cool.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll hang out again while you guys are bashing nerds, and next time Boneyard doesn't show up for the podcast, we'll spring in boots.
Are you just gonna replace me just like that?
Just like that.
Oh boy.
What is Book's gonna do on her Friday morning next time you feel like oversleeping?
I didn't feel like it. It just happens.
Yeah. See. Fuck. All right.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks, Boots, for coming down here. We're gonna wrap
Okay,
it up
so
here.
leave us a comment, and we're going to change our email here. Instead of comments at clashclanspodcast.com, send it to clashclanspodcast@gmail.com.
We're switching to Gmail, which is
It's
some
been
sort of government
that's where the voicemail comes from. But I think we should just switch over to that instead of comments at clashclanspodcast.com. Because of bandwidth issues, we're just going to switch over. Because we've been getting a lot of fans in the
All right,
stands.
we're on Gmail now, everybody. All you fans out there in radio land.
Clash of Clans podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, come and send us your
And where
comments.
can they call in and leave some,
You can always call us at 424-27-CLASH.
what's that?
424-27-CLASH. Call us and leave a number.
I didn't hear you quite right.
I said 424-27-CLASH.
Okay, you dirty son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Call and leave me a message.
All right, yeah. Leave one for Boneyard. Stokey left us a great voicemail. We're going to get to it next week with some announcements maybe. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up out there at ClashClansPodcast.com here at WBSMT Radio. Why don't we let Boots here take us on out?
Keep it clashy.
When I started Clash of Clans, I thought I had the master plan. Forget the mines and the elixir, I'd buy some gems and rush my builders. But now I'm stuck with wooden walls and no luck with my raids. My clan hates my donations. Level 1 barbarians, 'cause I rushed to Town Hall 9. I rushed to Town Hall 9. I rushed to Town Hall 9. I rushed to Town Hall 9.